I work in media. I do like stories, corporate films.
Always trying to find the positive things in the good and bad things.
I'm Irish and I have an Irish accent.
Accents are diverse and unique, but sometimes accents get in the way of understanding people. So an app called Sanas looks to remove that barrier by using AI technology to take away one's accent from this.
Hi, this is Alex from the customer service aid. How are you today?
To this.
Great to hear. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking.
Whether we're in the Philippines or in a different country, rest assured that we're trained in every detail to handle your accounts.
Dwayne Alviola lives in the Philippines and works for US-based companies for 8 years. He previously worked in call centers and now works in customer service.
As soon as they figure out that we are located in the Philippines, that's where racism takes place. And that's where we're judged. That why aren't jobs offered in the States?
Throughout the years of working on call centers, Alviola says he and his coworkers face discrimination and racism on the other end of the call.
Different types of curses, but since it's our second language, we don't even mind it. But racism comes in, even if we know that we're not the one being blamed for their experience, but it still hits us the most.
Alviola says they're stuck. When he was working in call centers, they're not allowed to hang up, and so they have to be on call until the caller on the other line clicks off. He says accent-altering apps can lead to smoother communication and less verbal abuse.
Especially for new graduates who just entered training, then it would help them boost their confidence. That's also one reason why I like the app, because if it was developed just a few years ago when I was starting, I would love it.
Others find the Sanas app helpful, especially when cops or hospitals are involved.
If there is a law, like cop, with a discussion with the cop, with the doctor, mainly, there are a lot of problems when you communicate with the doctor if you don't know proper English.
On the flip side, others argue that apps that take away accents perpetuate racism and discrimination by masking the problem at hand. Accents International founder says there's a way to do things differently.
At the conclusion of our program, which is called Powerful Pronunciation, people will still have an accent. We think that's a good thing. An accent is a piece of our cultural and linguistic identity. What they won't have is a communication barrier.
Unlike the apps that filter voices, Accents International improves pronunciation through real-time coaching. For example, the vowel-sounding ah used in words like law or daughter can be tough for those not familiar with pronouncing it.
So the way we teach it is both what does it look like and what does it feel like? Well, it looks like someone's popped an egg in their mouth. Aw. Looks like a perfect oval. Aw. And a person can feel, that's perfect. And a person can feel the top of their tongue behind their lower teeth. Aw. So what does it look like? What does it feel like? Mm-hmm.
What does it look like and what does it
feel like? Not what does it sound like?
Vincent Dixon had a thick Irish accent, but through years of teaching English in France, he learned to communicate more effectively.
I think sometimes people feel that their accent makes them lesser or more. And really, it doesn't just make you, it's just who you are. It's like the color of my eyes or the color of my hair.
In a world filled with more AI listening, trying to get machines to understand you despite your accent can be especially frustrating.
It's very frustrating because I talk to my watch, I talk to my husband is a geek, to my iPod, I talk to my phone, and I have to pass it to my daughter who was born here in Atlanta and ask her to say whatever word it is for Siri to understand me, because sometimes she don't even get me.
But ultimately, the goal of accent-changing technology is to create better person-to-person communication in an ever-increasing, globalized world.
For me, the key point is not their identity in communication. In the communication, the important thing is the message that you send and the message that you get.
Kat Sandoval, Newsy, Chicago.